Good morning, cosmetology students, and welcome to our channel. For those of you joining us for the first time, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of future videos coming up. For those of you who are coming back to join us repeatedly, nice to see you again. Before we start, let me say one thing, okay? Making these videos is not free. There's cost involved in filming, editing, production, YouTube, research people. You can help us offset these costs by simply hitting subscribe below. Just click on the subscribe button. It helps us defray these costs and keeps you notified of future videos. Okay, enough on the sales. Let's get into the most heavily tested topic on your exam, infection control. Not the most fun topic. It wasn't what I cared about when I went to cosmetology school. I wanted to learn how to cut people's hair. The state is not that interested in cutting hair. They are primarily focused on infection control, approximately 1/3 of your test. And it doesn't matter what state you're in. It doesn't change. It's approximately 1 out of every 3 questions, and you cannot pass your test if you fail 1 out of every 3 questions. You'll get about a 66, and that is passing in no state. If you don't believe me, log on to your state board's website, look for the CIB, the Candidate Information Bulletin. It's on every state's website. It will tell you exactly how the test breaks down. It won't give you the questions, but it will tell you the breakdown. And you will see that in virtually every single state, the breakdown of infection control is between 29% and 35%, roughly 1 out of every 3 questions. We're going to spend this video and the next video on this topic. Now, please don't swipe right and leave us thinking you don't care about this, because you will care on your test day. If you want to know even more, you can go on to our 2022 esthetician exam questions and answers. It's a much deeper dive into this topic, about a 25-minute video. Don't worry, the questions are the same. Sanitation, disinfection, sterilization, it doesn't matter. Skincare, nails, barbers, cosmetologists, the questions are all the same. Okay? Now, I realize that most of you are students, but there's actually quite a few instructors who watch these videos along with us. It's fine, we're all in the same game. Student, instructor, our company. We want you to pass your test. Right? We try to make these videos to point out the very important things in every chapter. If you want more practice, you can go to our website, www.cosmetologystateboardexam.com. There are some free practice tests. You can order our booklet. It gives you every question asked on the exam on your state, plus the answers for the last 12 months. The very first question it asks you is, what state are you testing in? Then it gives you the correct information from that state. Now, here's the problem students run into. Most of you are probably using this book. Milady? Some of you who've already graduated might have used the prior edition of the book. It doesn't make any difference. Nothing has changed. Some of you will be using this book from a competitor company to Milady called Salon Fundamentals. It's like Ford and Chevy, Honda and Toyota. It's essentially the same thing. It doesn't really matter what book you've used. Here's what does matter. The state board exam uses at least 3 books to make your test. Milady, Salon Fundamentals, and a book called Click, Certified Learning in Cosmetology. And I will tell you, after 40 years in this industry, the books do not contain the same information. A few times they even contradict each other, but mostly what happens is students will call us and they will say, I was doing so well in school on my test, 95 on every test. I got to my state board exam and I never even saw half of those questions before. It's a true statement because they came out of a book that you didn't read. I ran a school, taught the classes for 25 years. I could barely get my students to read 1 textbook, never mind 3 textbooks. So if you're out there and you're reading all 3, my hat off to you. Or if I had a hat, it'd be off to you, okay? But I'm going to go way on a limb here and say you're not going to read 3 textbooks while you're in school. And this is why when you get to your state board exam, you're going to see questions you never saw before. Unless you watch our videos and get our material, and we will make sure that you've seen and heard these questions before. Now, let's take a look at this, okay? What are they going to ask you on infection control? Broken down as simply as possible, there are 3 areas. There's decontamination, there's federal agencies, and there's pathogens. Now, if you look on page 85 in your textbook, again, the Milady, the newer version of it, it tells you, okay, decontamination is defined as the removal of dust, hair, skin, and other potentially infectious materials on an item's surface. That's great. It'll probably never be on your state board exam, okay? Because the examiners assume you memorize that sentence. Now, notice I said probably never. I didn't say never. If I could predict the future, I would have the winning lottery numbers. I'd be worth billions of dollars, right? But I do know after 40 years experience, they rarely ever are going to ask you the straight out definition. They're going to ask you to apply that definition to some real world situations. For example, okay, the lowest level of sanitation is called cleaning. Cleaning is a mechanical process. It tells you so right in your textbook, okay? A mechanical process such as scrubbing with soap and water or hand sanitizer. It is the base level of doing everything. On your state board exam, it says what level of sanitation is required by the cosmetologist prior to meeting their next client. It would be cleaning. You are required to wash your hands with soap and water or with hand sanitizer. Doctors will tell you soap and water is more effective. It is. You may not have water available. Hand sanitizer is not a bad choice. Okay? Cleaning removes all the visible dirt and debris and disease-causing pathogens. Now, the next level, moving up, sanitation. Okay? Sanitation is a little more involved. It's a chemical process. Okay? Mechanical versus chemical. They're going to expect you to know this on your test. Okay? Now, we're going to look at a question right here of a recent test. The use of hand sanitizer accomplishes this level of disinfection. The use of hand sanitizer accomplishes this level of disinfection. Sanitation, cleaning, sterilization, or none of the above. Again, the use of hand sanitizer will accomplish this level of disinfection. Sanitation, cleaning, sterilization, or none of the above. And the answer is D, none of the above. The question said this level of disinfection, okay? No. This is why you must read the question. Hand sanitizer will not disinfect your hands. Clorox bleach will disinfect your hands. I wouldn't really suggest using it, okay? Disinfection is for things in our industry. Combs, brushes, shears, razors. It's not for us, okay? Sanitation is for us as people. Disinfection is for the things we use. Read the question very carefully. There will always be 2 or 3 questions like this on your test. Just like what they call negative questions. Which of the following is not an example of whatever they ask? It only takes 1 point to fail. So read the question carefully, at least twice. Make sure you think that what they're asking you is what they're asking you. Then read all 4 answers. Okay, we're going to wrap it up right here. I know I'm starting to sound like your father lecturing you, and I don't want to fall into that pit, okay? Just to say, read the question at least twice. You have time. Students are always worried about running out of time. You're not going to run out of time. Read the question at least twice. Understand what they're asking you. If you don't understand the question or the answer, just skip it. Go back and answer at the end. Don't get all nervous and hung up on question 2 and waste the next half an hour. Just skip it. When you come back around the second time, I guarantee you know at least half the questions you skipped. Closing message, subscribe to our channel, get our material, understand infection control up, down, sideways. Thank you and hope to see you in the next video.